Hello everybody, this is Corey. I am going to go over the trades and the holdings for the YieldMax ETFs and single stock ETFs and YBET. I am going to go through this video fairly quickly. I'm only doing it because I want to make sure those of you that like to look at the strike prices know what's going on the rest of the week, and I feel bad that you haven't had this before now, but I had done the estimate video. It ended up getting pushed to Monday night, so I didn't have time for the others. But I'm going to get this out hopefully as quick as possible here. But just a reminder, I'm not a qualified licensed investment or financial advisor. I just pulled the data and present it to you. YieldMax ETFs are extremely risky. Please note that these are income ETFs, not growth ETFs, and your initial principal could be reduced or lost. So let's see. So let's go back a few. I'm honestly just going to show you this real quick so you have it in case you want to see it. I'm not going to go over all of this, but I know if you're on the phone, it's just gonna not be the best. I'm just going to show you the trades. You can look at them, pause, do what you need to do. I'm going to remove the filter. Let's make this a little bit smaller for some of you on your phone. I'm going to reduce a few. Oh, shoot. Did not mean to do that. I'm going to reduce the size of a few of these columns. So maybe I can zoom in a little bit. And I don't care about this part. So that should help. There we go. So these are the trades from Friday. And they're in alphabetical order. I may have sorted them for the video that I never did, but that red for JPM is just because it was coded incorrectly. But again, just going to scroll down for those of you that want to look at these. All right. I know it's not ideal, but I'm sorry. At this point, right, it is what it is. So these are the trades from, hold on, I can make this a little bit better. From obviously the 29th, which would have been Monday. So it looks like we have Coney, Misty, and NVDA trades. Looks like he basically just added, there was no closing or anything like that. All right, and then we're going to look at yesterday's trades. So I should do the same thing. I remove the filter. I can make those a little bit smaller. And then I just realized something. Dang it. I had also done the sheets for the estimate update numbers. However, I don't think I'm going to have a time to do that video this morning. But I also realized I didn't copy the trades over from yesterday. So those numbers would not be in there. So I'll have that. But then it means I would have to update a couple of things here now before I could even do that video, assuming that I even was going to be able to, which I don't think I will be able to. All right. So again, trades for yesterday. I don't have a lot of time to go over these. Most of these, however, there's not a lot here. And apparently I do not have them in alphabetical order, or I do, but I put them in alphabetical order by the wrong column. All right. There we go. So I would say the biggest thing here that I've noted was AMD. Obviously, if you have watched, AMD went up in earnings last night quite a bit. I think anywhere up to 10%, something like that. Of course, we don't know what today's going to hold, but yesterday they paid $30-something million to close out the synthetic with the strike price at 185. And now our new strike price for that is going to be 140. But yeah, so that was like the biggest thing. Of course, you can see here they did change the strike price here for the dips the synthetic to 123 to 104. Then you can see here for GDXY, they've added 240 contracts. And then down here at the bottom, we have YBIT. It looks like they closed out of the synthetic that was going to expire this week, and then they pushed it out 2 more weeks from a $35 to $28 strike price. And ended up, looks like they closed out 800 of the contracts there. So I know that's just a quick overview. I apologize, especially if you're brand new and don't know how my spreadsheets work. I will apologize up front. But to me, I'm doing this video mainly because I want y'all to see where we're at as far as strike prices and stuff like that, especially for the rest of the ones that have earnings this week. Which, like I said, I feel bad because I know I use this data and, and the possible upside and everything else for my expected trades for the week, or my inputs for trades. But lots of things happened last night. I'm not gonna have time, but I'm sure all of you know AMD had great on earnings, so it went up. NVDA had tanked at first because of Microsoft, along with everything else. Amazon, everything was tanking after hours. Don't ask me how in the heck it was that AMD and Starbucks did great, and then everything started coming back up. I don't know. Don't know that that's gonna, happen today, or with the market. But anyway, so just wanted to say that up front because I don't have time to stop and look at this, talk through these, right? But we're going to look at the short call data and these strike prices here. So we have Abney here has a short call that expires. Obviously my color codes are wrong, but August 2nd is the next strike date this Friday. So they're yellow but should be red. The 146 strike price, we're currently, or as of close yesterday, we were under, it's going to be for all of these, we were 5% below that strike price. Possible upside here showing 93 cents for Abney. AIYY, $28 strike price, currently, I know I'm going to say this every time, currently under, but as of close yesterday, we were under this stock price by 5%. And I say that because of the market last night and not knowing what's going to happen today. It looks like possible upside here of 55 cents for AIYY for the short call. Then we have AMDY. Again, after earnings, this one was up this morning. The last time I saw it, it was up to 150. I can pull it up, but it's pre-market, so, it is what it is. But yeah, it was at 150. It's at 150 right now, pre-market. But yeah, so our first strike price is 155. So just the short call for that upside of that one, see, you have 37 cents. Then you have the 157.50, 162.50, and then we have a 155, and this one won't expire until next week. That last 155 with 3,650 contracts. But yeah, we can see actually in after hours yesterday, this one was up to about $15. So I don't know if that'll be the case here. But again, we have the upside for the short calls. But one thing that we don't see here is the upside possible for the synthetics, right? And we don't know what that market value is going to be there. As far as it going up. So this could go up even more based on the synthetic position. And that's, the same with all of these, right? All right, so we're going to move on to MZ here. We have strike prices of 195 and 197.50, 7 and 8%. This one, I had them all marked on the estimate thing yesterday. But let me see if I can find my sheet real quick. Amazon, yes, reports tomorrow after hours, along with Apple. So it looks like we have a pretty decent upside over here. Maybe we can see $1 or $2 on this one if it can get up that high, assuming it doesn't, tank like a lot of the other ones have. And then we have Apple here with the 227.50 and the 232.50. We're currently underneath those 4 and 6%. For looking at that 227.50 strike price, looks like we could possibly go up for the short call 44 cents. again, still can go up additionally for the synthetic positions. So moving on, we have Coney here. We have a 260, 270, and 272.50 strike price. It also reports Thursday. So yeah, all three of those to get report Thursday after hours. So we have quite a bit of upside here possible for these. So we could see a couple of dollar upside here for Coney. Yeah, see if it. So see here, we have the estimates, right? So this one, 15, this has half the contracts, 270 straight price. I just want to explain this because I don't know who all's new or whatever. But this one, yeah, could go up $1.45-ish to get to that 270 straight price. And then, yeah, you can look here. But, as soon as you start going above this, this is, this one's going to start showing, making it more negative, right? So sometimes you got to be careful with these straight prices because they're going to cancel each other out as far as the possible upside. Of course, then you have your synthetic. If you look here with the 250 strike, if we did get up to $270, this thing's going to be positive. So that's not going to be negative $2 anymore. So then you can see that could even bring you up possibly $1 or $2. Again, it all depends on what the market value is going to be of those synthetics because we have two of them right here at the time. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there for anybody that may be new. We don't ever get to see a great example with big numbers like that. Not normally. Anyway, we have Dizzo here with the $92 and $93 strike prices. I think I saw this one after hours already at 94. So this one doesn't have any upside for the short calls, but of course it could be still go up based on this synthetic. And just to show you an example, sorry, I was going too quick. You don't see too much here, but yesterday's, I know I didn't get the video out. Of course, I still have all the data. But you can see here yesterday, this was negative, or the holdings from yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a day back. The day before, this showed the synthetic being negative 38 cents. And then, of course, the holdings from last night now shows this. So you can see that synthetic value came up 30 cents a share. All right. Let's move on. So we have Phoebe with the short call of $512.50. We're currently underneath that 10%. This one tanked when everything started tanking last night, but again, started coming back. Most things started coming back up, but we'll see. But look, this one's got about $1.50 upside, or almost more than that. So it looks like it could possibly come up to $19 if we could get to the $512.50. Of course, this will also bring the stock price up. So the synthetic alone could bring it possibly up to $19. This one reports today after the close. And I know it has nothing to do with these. Well, it does. ARM is not, one of these holdings, but it could possibly, depending on what that is, bring AMD and NVDA and stuff down, depending on those earnings. So just looking at the calendar there real quick. GDXY short calls for this week, 37.50, 38.50. Looks possible upside here for 26 cents for the short calls. And then we have GUI here, short call, 177.50 straight price. Underneath that 4%, possible upside here, about 67 cents for that short call. And then we have JPMO. We have 3 short calls that expire this week, 212.50, 215, 217.50. Of course, currently JPM is at 215.19, so we're above the 3 strike prices, so we don't have any upside here for the short calls, though the stock could go up based on the synthetics here. Murney, 2 short calls, 131 and 132 strike price. So this one reports, and you can tell there's a huge, if y'all haven't noticed or heard me say it already, there's a huge difference this quarter between the strike prices and the stock prices as we go into earnings. So you can see we're below those strikes by 9 and 10%. Moderna reports tomorrow morning before the market opens. But right now we're showing possible upside here of about $1.40 for Murray if we can get up to the 131 strike price for the increase 140 for the short call itself. All right, MSFO, Microsoft, this one reported yesterday. Let me see, MSFT. All right, yeah. So it got down to 389 something yesterday, I know, at a minimum. Or at least down to that amount. But in pre-market this morning, we're at 410, just to give you an idea. So there was yesterday a possible upside of about 90 cents if we could get up to 442.50. But I don't know that that's going to happen since, you know, Microsoft is down so much there. But we have that strike price, and we were at the end of yesterday, we were below that 4%. We do have a few days left, but I don't know that we'll come up as far as our MSFO strike price, but I don't think we have a fear of being over that short call strike price this week. Moving on to Misty here. Two short calls, 1775 and 1800 strike prices for this week. We're currently underneath those 10 and 11%. We were almost up to at least 1837 at one point. I think it was Monday this week, and of course we've fallen down as Bitcoin fell back down. I know there was a conference or whatever they call it in Nashville this weekend, so that's probably what pumped things up. But anyway, if this could go back up, we get to look at like a $2 or $3 upside here for the short calls for Misty. Nefli short call 657.50. We're currently, or as of close yesterday, we're underneath that 5% with a possible upside of 87 cents for the short calls. Then we have NVDA here. Ooh, we're about out of room. We have 4 short calls that expired this week. 118, 120, 122, and 123. We're underneath those anywhere between 12 and 16%. Dang, we have quite a bit of upside possible here. If you look at the 122 strike price, 79,000 shares shows that we could go up about $3.40. For NVIDIA there, just for the short calls. Of course, yesterday, well, this shows that we closed at 103 yesterday, which I didn't realize. After hours, we were down to 100. And then eventually, I guess, AMD's good earnings started bringing NVIDIA back up. And I don't even know why I'm looking at pre-market stuff for y'all, because by the time you watch this, the market will probably be open. But pre-market, we're at 111. So yeah, looking at some upside. In fact, I just accidentally typed in NVIDIA instead of NVIDIA. When I did it, it shows that NVIDIA is already up to $25. Of course, that's pre-market, so that doesn't mean too much there. Then we have OARC here with the 47.50 strike price for the short call, possible upside of about 58 cents here for OARC for the short call. PayPay, something's not right. Oh, because we closed yesterday at 64 because PayPal reported earnings yesterday morning before the market opened, which were good. We closed at 64, and our strike price was 64, so possible upside is actually zeroed out. First time I've seen that. But depending on how the short call market value and the synthetic market value, weigh each other. Stop it. The market value changes. The short synthetic could bring the stock up some more. It just depends. Now, it's not always going to happen, because I've seen it where it hasn't, or it was very, very minimum if it did, and I've seen others that, it's gone up quite a bit, so it just depends here. Let's go on to Snowy. We have 3 short calls, 136, 137, and 140 strike prices. We're currently underneath those 5 and 8%. Don't really have a lot of shares here on this one yet. A lot of people don't seem to be buying into this one. Though, I don't know. To me, this is one of the ones that I know I am personally buying in. I was already, before this ever even came out, I had been buying into Snowflake as it had been going down. So, but anyway. Yeah, we got our shares spread out there. If we're just looking at that first strike price, 136, looks like a possible 37-cent upside for again, the short call part of the stock price. Squee, this one block reports this week. What did I do with my phone? Block reports also Thursday afternoon. So in case you missed it, in case you fast forwarded, Amazon, Apple, Coinbase, and Block all report Thursday afternoon. And Moderna reports Thursday morning. And today, Meta reports after hours. Okay, $71 and $72 strike price here. Possible upside of about $2.66 for the short call. But again, you can see the synthetic right now with $70 strike prices bringing the stock down almost $3. I mean, that just seems crazy to think that this stock could go up $5. If we could get up to $71, but who knows, right? We will see. I know months ago, block was at $30. I mean, $80. So, or $83. I think one of the last things I remember. So I don't know. We've come down quite a bit here the past few months. So I'm sort of betting on this one. So I really hope this one goes up. All right. So Tesla here, 3 short calls, 230, 235, and 237.50. We're underneath those 3, 5, and 6%. Majority of the shares at the 235 strike price. We're looking about 75-cent upside here for Tesla. So it's showing if we could get to that, possibly get above the $16 strike price. I mean, the $16 Tesla could possibly get above $16. And then we have Zomo here. We got up to 118 something yesterday, so we have our short calls of 119 and 121. We're below those 1 and 2%. Majority of the contracts are the 119 strike price, so possible upside of about 12 cents for the short call for Zomo. Then here, now we go into the inverses, so we're looking at the opposite as far as what we want for the synthetic and the short puts as far as above and below those strike prices. So just keep that in mind here. But we have the short puts here at 210 and 212.50. We're above those strike prices 6 and 5% currently. Then we have dips here. We have 107, 115, and 118. We are below these. Of course, if today keeps going up, then, NVDA stays above the 111, at least that gets us a little bit better here. Of course, I didn't realize the stock price was already up to 21 something dollars, but it makes sense. All right, then we have fiat here, 2 short puts, 215 and 217.50, and we are above both of those 3 and 4%. Then we have YBIT here, 2 short calls, 24 and 24.50. We are below those 4 and 6%. Looking possible upside here of about 69 cents if we could go up $1 to around that $24 strike price. Bitto could go up $1, sorry. All right, I know I rushed through a lot of that. I apologize. I'm sure most of you that have watched my videos, you can, understand most of what's here and pause it and look at things. For those of you that are new, again, I'm sorry. It's just a rushed video, but I really wanted to get this one out for y'all today. Anyway, I will talk with y'all later and hope y'all were able to get something out of this. Again, I did it mainly so you could see the strike prices and see the possible upside for some of these, especially as we still have quite a bit of earnings left for the week. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.